welcome to 108 Gate, where we're looking at the current energies of this reading for when you're coming to it. So as you can see, in a different location, so we're going to make it swift and get this done. The word is confess. Confessing who to? What are you confessing? Is someone confessing something to you? So the process of confession, so seeing like a confession box, it's supposed to be anonymous, it's supposed to be private and a contained process, but in reality there is still an element of knowing who the other person is, or aspects of the other person, such as the voice, such as the nature of the confession leads to some insight of that person that may not have been known before. So when you are confessing, it feels now more so about confessing to something, to yourself. Have you been avoiding confessing to yourself? So if you do the process of confession with yourself, what would that look like? How would that sound? How would you feel? Therefore, are you better able then to give yourself some forgiveness? Bringing forgiveness to yourself through the confession. If you don't confess, then it's being suppressed, it's being held in a space that it can't be utilised in a healing manner. So we're going to get a language of the flowers cards, and we've got temperance, find balance and be centered. So part of this now is coming in with, if we go too far into being detrimental to self, we're coming towards the end of Lent. For those of you who do celebrate it, or do the 40 days of restraining self from something, or giving up something, the temperance that comes into that. So if somebody is too apparent on condemning self, or penalising self, or punishing self, the process of confession may alleviate some of that pressure that you put on self, therefore allowing self a deeper sense of forgiving self. Then we've got slow down. The pace must abate before it's too late. So slowing right down to understand the difference and notice the nuances, notice the delicate nature of confessing to punish self, or confessing to alleviate the stress, alleviate the guilt, alleviate the parts that you may not be taking accountability for. Therefore, it may lead to having to take accountability for things that you didn't necessarily want to, hence resisting being in a truthful space with self. So we're going to get a feminine card. Let's see where that goes. Page of Serpents. And then let's get the masculine. So this is going to bring in a new sense of connection to self, a new enlightened, I don't want to say that word, but it's coming in, a new version of connecting with self, a new perspective of self. But it's like a seed. It's not the fully blown perspective of self. It's a new idea of self, a new perspective of self, a new perception of self, which when planted, you can grow from that point. And the Chariot in the masculine energy, slow down, understand what you've got, understand the difference between being too detrimental to self, punishing self too much, too hard, and the difference between being compassionate with self and understanding you can forgive yourself for certain things, but you have to be able to confess the truth to yourself first. From that process, you slow down and then go into where to go from, to, how, and a sort of element of why. The why doesn't feel so important at the moment, but that process of slowing down, seeing where you are, is what's valid and important for right now. So with that, I'm going to leave you to ponder over that. Peace and love.